Yeah, good morning students. In continuation of ultraviolet spectroscopy, this is second lecture. Today we are going to study about the factors that are affecting the wavelength of absorption by the molecule. Factors affecting the wavelength of absorption by the sample molecule. Different factors are included in the syllabus. According to your syllabus, the first factor is solvent effect. The first factor is a solvent effect. Now, for the recording of ultraviolet spectroscopy, different type of solvents are used. That is, a sample is dissolved in a suitable solvents. The solvents may be of two types. Non-polar solvents, polar solvents. Are you following? There are two type of solvents, non-polar solvents and a polar solvents. Now coming to the non-polar solvents. The non-polar solvent do not affect the lambda maxima of either corresponding to pi to pi star transition or corresponding to n to pi star transition. We have four type of electronic transition. Two transitions are ruled out due to lack of energy availability in the instrument. The remaining two transitions are pi to pi star transition and n to pi star transition. The non-polar solvents, whatever the non-polar solvent, that do not affect the absorption frequency by the sample molecule, which is corresponding to either of pi to pi star transition or n to pi star transition. There is no effect of non-polar, not affected both transition absorption value n to pi star. So there is no effect of these kind of solvents on lambda maxima of pi to pi star or n to pi star value. Now coming to the polar solvents. Further, the polar solvent do not affect the absorption maxima of pi to pi star transition of either alkene or aromatic hydrocarbons. Alkene or aromatic hydrocarbons. Now, in alkene or aromatic hydrocarbons, there is only pi to pi star transition. Pi to pi star transition. However, a polar solvent, its effect is almost negligence. There is no effect of polar solvent on pi to pi star transition absorption maxima of alkene or aromatic hydrocarbons. Now coming to the other type of compounds. The absorption maxima of pi to pi star transition and as well as n to pi star transitions will be affected by the polar solvent in a carbonyl compounds. There are two type of transition, pi to pi star transition, n to pi star transition. Now, in brief, for the recording of ultraviolet spectrum, the sample is dissolved in a suitable solvent. The solvent may be of non-polar or solvent may be of polar. Coming to non-polar, this kind of solvents do not affect the absorption maxima of a sample either corresponding to pi to pi star transition or n to pi star transition. Now coming to polar solvent, the polar solvent again do not affect the absorption maxima for pi to pi star transition in alkene or aromatic hydrocarbons, but these solvents affected the absorption maxima of both pi to pi star transition, n to pi star transition of a compounds which contain pi electron as well as non-bonding pair of electrons. Example, carbonyl compounds. So we can observe the solvent effect in a molecule which has non-bonding electron and as well as pi electrons. Now let us discuss how it affected. Due to solvent effect, the pi to pi star transition absorption maxima is shifted towards longer wavelength, that is bathochromic shift, whereas the n to pi star absorption maxima for n to pi star transition is shifted towards hypsochromic, that is shorter wavelength. Are you following? The polar solvent affected the absorption maxima for pi to pi star transition to be shifted towards longer wavelength, that is bathochromic shift, and n to pi star transition absorption maxima to be shifted towards shorter wavelength, that is hypsochromic shift. This is about solvent effect. Now let us discuss why the pi to pi star transition is shifting towards a longer wavelength and n to pi star transition is shifting towards a shorter wavelength, that is hypsochromic. Say now we have a three type of orbitals. Say this is pi orbital, this is non-bonding orbital, this is pi star orbital. Pi bonding molecular orbital, non-bonding molecular orbital, pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now this is in the presence of non-polar solvents. Non-polar solvents. Now you see, now in the presence of non-polar solvent, the pi to pi star transition require delta E1 energy, whereas n to pi star transition require delta E2 energy. This is under non-polar solvent. The same molecule when we record in a polar solvents, let us see what happens. Pi solvent, n solvent, pi star solvent. This is in the presence of polar solvent. In the presence of, you can observe the difference between polar and non-polar solvent. Now you can observe the transition from pi to pi star transition, from n to pi star transition. Say this is delta E3, say this is delta E4. Now the same molecule in presence of non-polar solvent, this is in presence of a polar solvents. You can see the energy difference between pi to pi star transition under non-polar solvent is delta E1 and n to pi star transition under non-polar is delta E2. Now coming to here, under polar solvents, where pi S indicated solvent, a polar solvent, under polar solvent, the pi to pi star transition require delta E energy, N to pi star transition require delta E4 energy. Now you can see, in the presence of a polar solvent, the pi orbital and as well as non-bonding orbital and pi anti-bonding molecular orbital, that is all the three orbitals are stabilized. In the presence of a polar solvent, all the orbitals are stabilized due to dipolar interaction between the molecule and a solvent molecule. So due to dipolar interactions, pi n and pi star orbitals are stabilized. Further, the pi orbital is less stabilized, whereas non-bonding orbital and pi star orbitals are more stabilized. Pi orbital is less stabilized. You can see, this is in the presence of non-polar solvent. This is the level of energy of pi orbital. Now when it is stabilized, it comes down. Now pi orbital is stabilized to this extent, it comes down. Similarly, non-bonding orbital is also stabilized, means energy decreases. Pi star orbital is also stabilized, but pi orbital is less stabilized, whereas pi star orbital and n orbitals are more stabilized. That leads to decrease the energy difference between pi orbital to pi star orbital. Are you following? Pi orbital is less stabilized, whereas pi star is more stabilized. What happens? Energy difference between pi to pi star orbital decreases. Therefore, lambda maxima for pi to pi star orbital is shifted towards longer wavelength. Now coming to here, the n orbital is more stabilized when compared to pi star orbital. That leads to increase in the energy difference between n orbital to pi star orbital in the presence of polar solvent. Therefore, for n to pi star transition, the molecule absorb a shorter wavelength, that is hypsochromic shift. Now, in the absence of polar solvent or under non-polar solvent, delta E1 is greater than delta E3. This is delta E1, the energy difference between pi to pi star orbital in the presence of non-polar solvent is delta E1. Energy difference between pi to pi star orbital in the presence of polar solvent is delta E3, where here delta E1 is more, whereas here delta E3 is less. Why delta E3 is less? Because this orbital, anti-bonding pi orbital, is more stabilized, it comes more down. So that leads to decrease in the energy difference between pi orbital to pi star orbital. That is, energy required for pi to pi star orbital in the presence of non-polar solvent is more, delta E1 is more when compared with the energy difference between the same orbital in the presence of polar solvent. Delta E1 is greater than delta E3. Similarly, you can see here, in the presence of non-polar solvent, the energy difference between n orbital to pi star orbital, that is delta E2. Now coming to in the presence of polar solvent, the energy difference between n orbital to pi star orbital is delta E4, where in the presence of polar solvent, the energy difference between n to pi star orbital is more, when compared to the presence of non-polar solvent, that is delta E2 is less than delta E4. Are you following? This is for pi to pi star transition. This is for n to pi star transition. N to pi star transition. You can observe the energy differences. The n to pi star transition energy delta E is lesser when compared with the same transition n to pi star transition, that is delta E4. It is more, here it is less. Delta E2 is less than delta E4. Are you following? Now here, in the presence of non-polar solvent, the energy required for n to pi star transition is less, whereas in the presence of polar solvent, the energy required for n to pi star transition is more. When energy required is more for n to pi star transition, its signal or its band is, its absorption is shifted towards shorter wavelength. This is about solvent effect. So due to the dipolar interactions between the sample molecule to that of the solvent molecule, which resulted the stabilization of pi orbital, non-bonding orbital and pi anti-bonding molecular orbitals, where pi orbital is less stabilized, whereas pi star orbital is more stabilized. That leads to decrease in the energy difference between the pi to pi star and hence absorbed longer wavelength. Now coming to n orbital and pi star. N orbital is more stabilized when compared with the pi star orbital. So that leads to increase in the energy gap between n to pi star orbital in the presence of a polar solvent. Therefore absorbed, its wavelength of absorption is shifted towards a shorter wavelength, that is hypsochromic shift. Hypsochromic shift. For example, you take acetone. Acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3. Acetone, where lambda max for 279 nanometer. This is for n to pi star transition. Now here it is a carbonyl compound which consisting of non-bonding pair of electrons. So for there is a n to pi star transition. So n to pi star transition require 279 nanometer of wavelength when it is recorded in hexane. When recorded in hexane, the same molecule when recorded in water, lambda max is equal to 264 nanometer for the same transition when it is recorded in water. Are you following? You observe the differences. Molecule is the same. When recorded in the hexane, which is non-polar, whose absorption maxima is 279 nanometer for its n to pi star transition. The same molecule when recorded in water for the same transition, n to pi star transition, its absorption maxima is 264 nanometer. What happens? Where here it is polar solvent. So due to the polar solvent, the absorption maxima of acetone for its n to pi star transition is shifted from 279 to 264. What it indicated? It is about hypsochromic shift. Hypsochromic shift, or we can also call as blue shift. So this is about solvent effect. Now the second factor that affected the absorption maxima, structural effect. Structural effect, particularly in that effect of conjugation. Effect of conjugation. Effect of conjugation. So the absorption maxima, that is lambda maxima for a molecule, is also depends or also affected by the conjugation of the molecule, conjugated unsaturated system of the molecule. That is, the lambda maxima is directly proportional to the conjugation of the molecule. That indicated the absorption maxima is shifted towards the longer wavelength as increasing the conjugation. So when conjugation increased in the molecule, its absorption maxima is shifted towards a longer wavelength. Why? When as increasing conjugation, which resulted the increase in the resonance energy. Are you following? So conjugation is directly proportional to absorption maxima or wavelength of absorption. That is, the wavelength of absorption of a molecule is shifted towards longer wavelength or increases as increasing the conjugation. Why? Because as increasing conjugation, where there is a resonance energy of the molecule increases. When the resonance energy got increased, what happens? Energy difference between the orbitals decreases. Are you following? Say initially this is the energy gap between the orbitals. When resonance energy increases, what happens? The energy difference between the two orbitals decreases. Are you following? So when energy difference between the two orbitals decreases, it absorbed longer wavelength, that is bathochromic shift. So as increasing the conjugation increases the resonance energy, similarly decrease the orbital energy gap between the orbitals, so that the molecule absorbed energy in the bathochromic or in the higher wavelength. For example, you take comparison. For example, you take CH2 double bond CH2, an ethylene, where it contains two orbitals. One is pi orbital, another one is pi star orbital. So the ethylene has two orbitals, pi orbital and pi star orbitals. The energy difference between these two, that is delta E. Energy difference between the two pi orbitals, pi bonding molecular orbital, pi anti-bonding molecular orbital for ethylene is 164 kilocalorie. 164 kilocalorie per mole. 164 kilocalorie per mole. The energy gap is more. Energy required for the electronic transition is more. That is about lambda max is equal to 175 nanometer. 175 nanometer. Now, when we increase the conjugation or when we introduce one more double bond, say you take butadiene. Butadiene. Are you following? Now, it has pi 1 orbital, pi 2 orbital, pi 3 orbital, which is anti-bonding, pi 4 orbital, again anti-bonding. There are 4 pi electrons. In the case of ethylene, there is only 2 pi electrons. In the case of butadiene, 2 electrons are in the pi 1 orbital, 2 electrons are in the pi 2 orbitals. Now transition. Now transition is happen to be shift an electron from pi 2 orbital to pi 3 star. The energy difference between the pi orbital, pi 2 orbital to pi 3 orbital is 129 kilocalorie per mole, and the wavelength of absorption become 270 nanometer. Are you following? You observe When energy difference is more, that is 164 kilocalorie, for the transition of its electron, it absorbed higher energy, that is shorter wavelength, 175 nanometer. Now when we introduced one more double bond, what happens? There is a overlapping of pi orbitals, that is as number of double bond increases, the pi orbital overlapping is increases. The energy difference between pi to pi 3 orbital become less, that is delta E is equal to 129 kilocalorie per mole, and hence it absorbed. Now when compared from 164 kilocalorie, 129 kilocalorie energy is less. Therefore the molecule butadiene absorb energy at 270 nanometer, that is longer wavelength. Now further you take triene, where it consisting of 3 double bonds, 1 double bond, 2 double bond and 3 double bond. Triene, it consisting of 3 pi orbitals, 3 anti-bonding pi orbitals, that is pi 1 orbital with 2 electrons, pi 2 orbitals with 2 electrons, pi 3 orbital again 2 electrons, pi 4 orbital which is anti-bonding, pi 5 orbital again anti-bonding, pi 6 orbital anti-bonding. So it has pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 for bonding, pi 4, pi 5, pi 6 for anti-bonding. Now in the case of triene, the electronic transition is happen from pi 3 orbital to pi 4 orbital. Now this is delta E is equal to 108 kilocalorie, 108 kilocalorie. The energy difference between the two orbitals become equal to 108 kilocalorie, which is further less when compared with the 2 double bond and when compared with the 1 double bond. Hence it absorbed again, when energy gap is less, it absorbed energy at higher wavelength value, that is 254 nanometer. Lambda max is equal to 254 nanometer. Are you following? 254 nanometer. You compare the 3. When there is only one double bond, the energy difference between the pi orbital is more, that is 164 kilocalorie. As increasing conjugation from 1 double bond to 2 double bond, the energy difference between the pi orbital decreases. That is, in the case of ethylene it is 164 kilocalorie, in the case of butadiene it is 129 kilocalorie. So energy difference between the two orbital decreases. When energy decreases, now further, when further increasing conjugation from 2 double bond to 3 double bond, further the energy difference between the orbital decreases, that is about 108 kilocalorie. You can compare. If there is one double bond, energy difference is 164. For 2 double bond it is 129 kilocalorie. For 3 double bond it is 108 kilocalorie. So as decreasing energy difference between the orbitals, for the electronic transition, the molecules are absorbing energy under or at higher lambda value, that is higher wavelength value or bathochromic shift. You can see absorption maxima for ethylene is 175 nanometer, for butadiene is 217 nanometer, for triene is hexatriene is 254 nanometer. So wavelength are increased from 175 to 217 to 254 nanometer. So in this way, as increasing conjugation, the wavelength of absorption increases or it is shifted towards bathochromic. This is about conjugation effect. For example, now, for example, you take steel CH double bond CH a pH. Now in between the two phenyl ring there is one double bond. This is colorless. Colorless. Let us increase the double bonds. pH CH double bond CH again pH. Colorless. This is two double bonds. Colorless. Two double bonds. Further increasing the double bonds. pH CH double bond CH, three double bonds pH. This become pale yellow. This is the evidence for absorption maxima shifting towards longer wavelength from colorless to pale yellow. Similarly, further increasing pH CH double bond CH 4 times a pH. This become yellow. Yellow. If we increase one more double bond, say pH CH double bond CH, say 5 times pH, it become orange. What you observed, if there is only one double bond, it's colorless. That indicated its wavelength of absorption is under ultraviolet region. So this first molecule is absorbing energy in the ultraviolet region, which is a shorter wavelength. The second molecule with two conjugated double bond in between the two benzene ring, again colorless, means it is also absorbing energy at lower wavelength value or shorter wavelength value. Now when we improve or introduced one more double bond, so the conjugated double bonds are 3. Slowly it become pale yellow. What it indicated? This molecule absorbing energy in the visible region, therefore there is a color. Whereas the first two molecule absorbed energy in the ultraviolet region, which is shorter wavelength energy. Ultraviolet energy is a shorter wave. So these two molecule absorbing shorter wavelength, whereas this absorbed longer wavelength. Now when improved one more conjugated double bond from 3 to 4, it is shifted towards again longer wavelength, and its color will be yellow. So color is improved, means the absorption maxima is slowly shifting from ultraviolet region to visible region, that is from shorter wavelength to longer wavelength. Now further increasing the conjugation, 5 double bonds, 5 conjugated double bonds, what happens? The color become orange. Color is darkened from yellow to orange. What it indicated? Further its wavelength of absorption increases. So as increasing conjugation from 1 double bond to 5 double bond, the color is slowly increased, indicated the molecules are slowly absorbing energy from ultraviolet region to visible region, that is from shorter wavelength to longer wavelength. This is lambda max. Lambda max. Now you can observe, as increasing conjugation, lambda maxima also increases. So this is about structural, we can call it as a structural effect, or there is a difference in the structures, or we can call it as a conjugation effect or effect of conjugation. In brief, increasing conjugation in a molecule shifted the absorption maxima towards a longer wavelength due to increasing resonance energy and decreasing energy difference between the two orbitals. Thereby it absorbed energy at a longer wavelength, that is at a bathochromic shift. Now coming to the third effect, effect of stereochemistry or stereochemical factor. stereochemical factor. So the absorption maxima in a molecule also affected by the stereochemistry or stereochemical environment. That is, we can also call it as effect of cis trans isomers. Cis trans isomers. You can take an example for the study under stereochemical factor, a geometrical isomerism, that is cis trans isomers. Now, in general, the absorption maxima, that is wavelength of absorption of trans isomer, is more when compared with the cis isomer. That is, the lambda maxima for a trans isomer is towards longer wavelength when compared with the cis isomer. That is, the cis isomer absorbed energy at shorter wavelength, whereas trans isomer absorbed energy at longer wavelength. Shorter wavelength, whereas trans isomer absorbed energy at longer wavelength. Are you following? So we are in the study of effect of factors, that is stereochemical factor that affecting the lambda maxima. For that we have chosen a cis trans isomers of the same molecule. Now a cis isomer absorbed energy always at a shorter wavelength, whereas trans isomer absorbed energy always at longer wavelength. Because in a cis isomer, due to steric repulsion between the groups attached at the same side, the steric interaction between the groups attached at the same side of ethylene carbon or alkene carbon in the cis isomer, that will diminish the planarity of the molecule. Say this is the cis isomer, this is group 1 and this is group 2. The steric interaction or repulsion between these two groups causes diminishing the plane of the molecule. So one group moving above, one group moving below the plane. So that resulted diminishing the planarity of the molecule. When the planarity of the molecule is get disturbed or diminished, the orbital overlap decreases. That means due to the diminishing planarity, the energy difference between the orbital increases. A simple concept. In the cis isomer of an alkene, where the two groups are the same side, there is a steric repulsion between the two groups of the cis that causes diminishing the planarity of the molecule. So the molecule is not exactly in a coplanar, its planarity get disturbed or diminished. Therefore, the orbital overlapping decreases, result of increase the energy difference between the two orbitals. When energy difference between the two orbital increases, the molecule absorbed or isomer absorbed energy at a shorter wavelength. Now coming to the trans isomer, where in the trans isomer the two most priority groups are, the two groups are opposite with respect to each other. So the groups attached in the trans isomer are opposite with respect to each other. There is no steric repulsion between the groups. Means in the case of trans isomer, the molecule is perfectly lying under a coplanar. That is, when the molecule is lying exactly or perfectly under coplanar or on a plane, the orbital overlapping is more. That means energy difference between the orbital decreases. Therefore, the trans isomer absorbed energy at longer wavelength. Are you followed? So, in the case of cis isomer, the planarity get diminished, that result of increase the energy difference between the orbital and hence absorbed shorter wavelength. Whereas in the case of trans isomer, where there is a perfectly coplanar, the molecule is under coplanar or planar, where there is a orbital overlapping is more and hence the energy difference between the orbital is less. Therefore, trans isomer absorbed energy at longer wavelength. For example, you take a still beam. Example, you take cis still beam. This is cis still beam. Cis still beam and trans still beam. Hydrogen pH. This is trans. Now a cis still beam, trans still beam. Now in the cis still beam, where the two phenyl groups are same side, so there is a steric repulsion. There is a steric repulsion that causes diminishing the molecular plane. So result of increase the energy gap between the orbital and hence absorbed shorter wavelength. Lambda max is equal to 225 nanometer. Now in the trans, where the two phenyl groups are opposite side, there is no steric repulsion or interaction and hence the molecule is perfectly coplanar and orbital energy difference is very less and absorbed longer wavelength. Say lambda max is equal to 230 nanometer. You can observe the difference. Molecule is same, but the geometry is different. So a cis isomer absorbed 225 nanometer, whereas trans isomer absorbed 230 nanometer. What happens? What is the factor that will affect the lambda maxima to be shift from 225 to 230 nanometer? It is a steric factor. Due to steric effect, lambda maximas are shifted towards longer wavelength from cis to trans isomer. Now, example, you take cinnamic acid. pH, hydrogen, COOH, hydrogen. This is cis cinnamic acid and trans cinnamic acid. pH, hydrogen, COOH. This is trans. Molecule is same, but the geometries are different. One is cis, one belongs to trans. Now here the cis isomer lambda max is equal to 268 nanometer. For the same molecule under trans isomer, its lambda maxima is equal to 274 nanometer. You can observe the difference. Cis isomer with shorter wavelength, trans isomer with longer wavelength. Is it clear? Now coming to some other examples. Azo compounds. Say pH, nitrogen, double bond nitrogen, a pH. Nitrogen has non-bonding pair of electron in its orbital. Say this is cis compound, where its lambda maxima is equal to 281 nanometer. Now for the same, its trans isomer, nitrogen, double bond nitrogen, a pH, an orbital. This is trans. A cis has absorption maxima of 281 nanometer. The trans isomer has the absorption maxima is equal to 320 nanometer. Now there is a large difference. one with 281 nanometer, the other with 320 nanometer. What is the difference? This is cis isomer, this is trans isomer. So always the trans isomer, a cis isomer at a shorter wavelength when compared to trans isomer which absorbed energy at longer wavelength. So this is about the factor, steric factor that influence the absorption maxima in a molecules. Now the last factor, effect of cross conjugation. Cross conjugation. Cross conjugation. Let us study what is cross conjugation. A molecule which contain more than one conjugated system. A molecule which contain more than one conjugated system. Those systems are called as cross conjugated system. Cross conjugated system. In case of cross conjugated system, the more substituted conjugation or conjugated system absorbed longer wavelength, whereas the least substituted conjugated system absorbed shorter wavelength. Are you followed? A system or a molecule which contain more than one conjugated systems within it called as cross conjugated systems. For cross conjugated systems, a conjugation with a more substituted absorbed longer wavelength when compared with the least substituted conjugated system which absorbed shorter wavelength. For example, you take this molecule, a double bond, a alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. Here it is methyl group, alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. You can see with respect to C double bond O, this carbon is alpha, this carbon is beta. Now C double bond O is conjugated with alpha beta carbon double bond. A double bond present between alpha beta carbon. This is a conjugate, one conjugation. Similarly, upper part with respect to C double bond O, this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon. Now here in this case, the molecule consists of more than one conjugated system. Now with respect to bottom alpha beta carbons, this is one conjugation. With respect to top alpha beta carbon, with respect to C double bond O, another conjugation. Towards this side one conjugation, towards this side one conjugation. This is called as cross conjugated system. Cross conjugated system. Are you followed? Now what happens? A more substituted cross conjugated system always absorbed longer wavelength. Now whereas the least substituted conjugated system absorbed shorter wavelength. Now here there are two conjugated systems in one molecule. Now here the beta carbon, is substituted by, this is one carbon, this is second carbon. Are you following? Now with respect to C double bond O, a bottom conjugation where the beta carbon is attached by one carbon and two carbon, it is disubstituted. The bottom conjugated system is a disubstituted as the beta carbon is attached by two carbons. Now top conjugated system, above conjugated system, where here the beta carbon is attached by only one carbon. You cleanly observe. Bottom conjugated system where the beta is attached by two carbons above conjugation where the beta carbon is attached by only one carbon, that is bottom conjugated system is a disubstituted, top conjugated system is a monosubstituted. Now this is more substituted, this is less substituted. More substituted and less substituted. Here the absorption maxima for this is 244 nanometer. Here the absorption maxima is 232 nanometer. Wavelength of absorption is 232 nanometer. Within the same molecule there are two conjugated system. It is a cross conjugated. One is more substituted, the other one is least substituted. This is disubstituted, this is monosubstituted. More substituted conjugated system has wavelength of absorption about 244 nanometer. Least substituted conjugated system has a wavelength of absorption about 232 nanometer. Now in case of cross conjugated system, we always should consider towards longer wavelength. Towards longer wavelength, we should consider a conjugation of more substituted because of longer wavelength of absorption, as its absorption probability is more. So we should consider longer wavelength of absorption a conjugated system when compared to shorter wavelength of absorption. Now you take another example, say CH2 double bond carbon CH3, C double bond O, CH double bond CH2. Now you can see with respect to C double bond O, this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon. This side with respect to C double bond O, this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon. Now within the same molecule there is a two conjugated system. This is one conjugated, this is another conjugated. Now this conjugated system is unsubstituted, there is no substituents, whereas this conjugated system is substituted, one methyl group is there. So this is more substituted, more substituted, this is least substituted. Less substituted. So a more substituted conjugated system always absorbed longer wavelength, that is lambda max is equal to 225 nanometer. Here lambda max is equal to 250 nanometer here. Is it clear? So we should consider this part for calculation. More substituted conjugated system. So with this, the factors affecting the absorption maxima is completed. Only 4 factors are included. One is solvent effect, another one is conjugation effect, the third one is steric factor, the fourth one is cross conjugation. In the solvent effect, a polar solvent shifted pi to pi star transition towards longer wavelength, n to pi star transition towards shorter wavelength. In the conjugation effect, increasing conjugation shifted the absorption maxima towards longer wavelength. Now in the stereochemical factors, always the steric effect shift the absorption maxima towards shorter wavelength. Example cis when compared to the trans. So cis appear at a shorter wavelength, trans appear at longer wavelength. Now coming to cross conjugated system, more substituted conjugated system has more or longer wavelength of absorption when compared with the least substituted conjugated system, which has shorter wavelength of absorption. So only these are the 4 factors that included in the syllabus. With this, I complete today's lecture and we will discuss the remaining topics whatever left over in the UV spectroscopy in the next class. So thank you very much. Thank you.